Before we start, how to make awesome websites? This question is really very important to understand. How does the internet actually work? In this lesson, we are going to deep dive into how exactly does the internet work. Because I saw most of the developers who knows how to create websites and all, but they don't know this simple thing, how does the internet work? Most of the people make it complicated and it's really difficult to understand. But actually, the internet is really simple. All it is just a long piece of wire, and the wire connects different computers. So you might have one computer that's in USA and another computer that's in India, and they can talk to each other or transfer data through this giant wire. Now, some of these computers attached to the internet have a very special job. They have to be available 24/7, ready to serve you all the data and information that you are requesting when you try to access websites. And the computers that are doing that job we would call a server. And the computers that any user would use to access the internet is called a client. Now you can imagine a web server as a giant library that's open 24/7 and you can go in there at any time of the day and request I want to see Yahoo homepage or I want to see Google homepage or I want to see my post on Facebook, and it would be able to serve you with all of the files and data that you would need to able to view whatever website it is that you requested. Now you can imagine if there's a library that's big enough to house all of these websites, then it's going to really difficult to quickly locate the exact thing that you want out of this giant library, right? So how is this problem solved on the internet? Well, let's say that you are sitting at home on your computer and type yahoo.com because you want to head over to the main Yahoo homepage. What happens behind the scenes is that your browser will send a message to your ISP. What is ISP? ISP mean Internet Service Provider. So these are the peoples who you pay to be able to access the internet. Like in India, we are using Airtel, BSNL, Jio. Now the message that you are sending in ISP is I want to see yahoo.com, and the ISP will then relay that message to something called DNS server, a domain name system server, and a DNS server just like a phone book. And what happens when you make that request through your browser is the DNS server will look up in its database as to what is the exact IP address of that website that you are trying to access. And every single computer that's connected to the internet has an IP address, so that when people need to send and receive files on the internet, each computer can be located by their unique IP address. And once the DNS server finds the IP address, it sends that back to your browser. So now you know the exact address where you can find the Yahoo homepage. The next thing that happens is you will send a direct request to that address, your internet service provider, and this message will be delivered via what is called the internet backbone. Now the internet backbone is not some sort of analogy for some clever programming. It's literally the backbone of the internet. And if you had the submarinecable.com, you can view all of the underwater cables that power the internet. And the internet is made up of these huge sprawling masses of wires connecting all of the world's internet users. As you can imagine, if you want to see this website, I'll drop the link in the description of this video. So now you can understand how we connect all over the world through internet. Now imagine a scenario. I am sending a letter halfway across the world, and my only hope for my letter to reach my friend is that postal address on the front of the envelope. So once I have gotten the IP address of the website that I want to access, then my browser sends another message through the internet service provider via the internet backbone to the server that is located at that address. If 216.115.101 is the IP address of Yahoo, and the computer that's located at that address is of course Yahoo server, and on this server all of the files I would need in order to be able to view Yahoo homepage, the server then send all of the files back to me through the internet backbone and I got to see the Yahoo homepage in my browser. Now I hope you understand how internet works. In the next video we will discuss how to actually website works and so on. And if you like this video, then share with your friends. Also support my channel, subscribe my channel. Thank you.